Welcome back. Well, we have a special treat for you. We have Chad Kern and Chef Bobby here who are going to talk to us about the OC Wine Fest that's coming up the end of this month. Well, welcome both of you. It's so nice to have you. Chad, of course, you've been here a couple of times.
Yeah.
We're always excited to have you on the morning when we can drink wine. And then this time, something new.
Absolutely.
We've got food that you guys are going to have. You know, before we get into all of this real quick, just tell me real quick a little brief bio on yourself.
Well, I was in healthcare and was in pharmacy for a long time and was looking for something to relax a little bit. And I was into wine. I grew up in California and went to school in Northern California. And wine tasting was always relaxing, walking around in a vineyard and having that open air feeling and walking through the vines and the grass and things. So we created that in Orange County. So my wife and I bought the farm, so to speak, back about 15 years ago. And we have been kind of growing it and changing it ever since. We took over operations at a Stone's Throw winery a couple years ago. And we now have 3 successful tasting rooms, Cowboy Canyon, Jirachi Vineyards and Farms, and Stone's Throw.
Right, now the Cowboy Canyon and Jirachi are out in the Silverado Canyon.
Yep.
And then a stone's throw is down in San Juan.
Down in San Juan, which is where we actually have the OC Wine and Spirits Fest this year.
Exactly, and this is the 3rd year.
It's the 3rd year of the festival. Yeah, this year it is the OC Wine and Spirits Fest. The wine industry is changing, the spirits industry is changing. So we not only have wine, but we also have breweries, seltzers, spirits vendors, things like that. So we've kind of expanded to basically all types of alcohol.
Wow. Well, what kind of spirits are you going to have?
We have some bourbons, we have some tequilas, some brandies.
I'm like looking at Ken, and he's like, bourbon?
Yep. And I think I'm not sure, there might be some scotches. I know there's a distributor that's coming, and he may be bringing some things other than American whiskeys.
Now, are you doing that because trends are changing, especially amount of people drinking wine, and it seems to be cyclical.
It is.
We see that every probably 15 years or so, especially if they say the younger folks are going to more surprisingly spirits, but. Years ago in the 80s, it was Zima. Remember those type of things, and now it's that. And
I remember Bartles and James. California Coolers. I just aged myself pretty bad.
Yeah, I know. No, you probably don't even know what that is.
He saw it in the history books.
Oh, did you? Okay, you read up on it. All right, excellent.
But it is very cyclical.
It is. It is cyclical, but people are always looking to find something new. I mean, if you look, people are looking for a new restaurant. People are looking for a new area to go, a new place to vacation, a new drink. Something that tastes good, that's festive, that's fun, and that's, I think, where the seltzers are really coming in. People are, it's sort of your health conscious liquor because it's seltzer water. It's not soda that is sweet and sugary, but it still has some of those great flavors that people are looking for.
Right.
And then, go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to say, what about in general with the varietals that are out there? That's cyclical too. Back in the 80s, it was Chardonnay that was huge, and the lighter wines, and what they used to call the white Zinfandels and all. Then it sort of graduated to back to the reds towards the end of the 80s and the 90s.
Right. We do change it. The old white Zinfandels, we don't even call them white Zinfandels anymore. They're considered quote unquote blush wines. Right. Rosé has had a big rising. I actually was just tasting, and we're about to bottle and release 4 rosés this next year. So the wine industry changes, the spirits industry changes. Everybody, as I said, is looking for something new. Cabernet is probably going to be fading off a little bit. A lot of the vineyards, you're not getting the cold and the freezes and things. Whether you like it or not, there is global climate change.
Right.
So people are looking north. You're getting a lot of the big wineries buying places in Washington and Oregon. So who knows what's going to happen in the future? Every state has its own wineries, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to keeping up with the times. So while we have you maybe open the wine, and I'm going to have Chef Bobby here. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I know I wasn't going to give him a plug, but I'm going to anyway. Salani Steakhouse. So you worked there for a bit.
I worked there for a little bit, right before I joined Ivelisse. It was a great experience working for a team, a great boss, great food, and like I said, great experience working for them. I grew up here locally in Laguna Beach, actually. Was always a foodie. and just grew up loving food and always making my own plates and sandwiches and whatnot growing up. And I studied abroad in Florence in 2002. I was studying drawing and painting, and living in Florence, I fell in love with the food. And I came back and I started working in kitchens, and I've never looked back.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And you're working with Ivalee's Catering.
Ivalee's Catering.
Okay, which is a division of Ivalee's Restaurant in San Clemente.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we're in San Clemente, and we mainly focus on banquets, weddings, corporate events.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Great restaurant. I'd say I haven't done the catering part of it, but Ivalee's in general is Southern New Orleans style cooking with a kind of a different take.
That's right.
More a modernistic take on it. And since I love that kind of food, I'm going to give a plug to that restaurant.
Yeah, Ivalee's, they do a great job.
Down in
doing
San
it.
Clemente,
Yeah.
it's really a neat place to go.
And then your catering is a little bit different than the Southern style,
We
right?
do a little bit
Maybe tell
different.
us what we have here in front of us.
What we have here in front of us is this is a potato gnocchi with a sage and butter sauce and brown butter.
Definitely get a nice
I
close-up
have
of that.
charred broccolini, and this is obviously very classic Italian. We do a little bit more classic steakhousey or whatever the bride and groom prefer. I've done a lot of Mexican buffets, Italian buffets. So it's really whatever their preference of food is. We can pretty much customize any menu.
Okay, great.
And so we also have here, this is a braised lacinato kale with roasted chicken breast, and I have a marsala chicken jus over that, and this is very classic Tuscan dish, pearl onions, marsala, let's see what else we have here. Our other dish here is a root vegetable salad. I have a whipped herbed creme fraiche with dill and chives. We have roasted beets, golden beets, red beets, radish, pickled radish, and baby carrots.
It all sounds
Yeah,
fantastic.
it looks really
I'm
good.
salivating over
I
here.
love the classic, what they call airline or hotel
The airline chicken breast.
Yep.
I wish you could find that in markets, and because it's so convenient to have, but it's very, I don't know of any like standard grocery stores that you can find that.
No,
in,
I don't
but-
see that often. It's for the looks, I think, for the restaurants.
Yeah.
You could probably find it in one of the ranch markets around.
Yeah, but they're easy to cook as far as you don't have to, they're already trimmed and ready to go.
Yeah, we get them already cleaned
Yeah,
and ready to
that's-
go, and
Nice.
just have to
Do
cook
it.
them.
Well,
Man,
that's awesome.
Just looks great.
So, Chad, tell me a little bit about why you guys have started bringing in food. I mean, I know you had trucks and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
now you're actually having the chefs there. So tell me how that works.
Well, we're changing with the times. Last year, we had some seminars and things on making wine and wine regions and things, and it just, I don't think the interest was there for the people that came to our festival. So we started looking at it, and our most successful seminars that we had during the Wine Fest was the food and wine pairing. So we decided to go with a food and wine pairing and do multiples each day. So there's going to be 2 seminars each day. And I'm not sure what they're all going to be. There might be one that pairs with beer.
Okay.
There might be one that uses some spirits.
Okay.
So there might be some different things that come up. I'm not privy to all of them. We're still working through the menus.
Sure.
And people will be able to choose them beforehand. But it's just the people that come to the festival, the people that in this area, I don't see a lot of people in Laguna Woods that are probably going to make wine in their garage.
Well, you never know.
You don't.
We have a very large wine club here.
That's
Yes.
true.
So they definitely are watching,
Yeah.
wanting to know all about the wine. so.
Absolutely. But I think they'd be more interested in what wines are out there and
Sure.
how to pair them with the food.
Exactly.
And so we've decided to take that spin on it, and we went out to the catering chefs because they're the ones that are going to be able to come out and serve food
Right.
because they're used to carrying it off site. Some of the restaurants that are around, they need their kitchen right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that makes sense. So tell me a little bit about the OCWineFest before we go, and we'll taste this while you're talking.
And well, as I said, we kind of morphed a little bit. It's the OCWineSpiritFest this
Right.
year because we've added breweries, seltzers, hard alcohol. So there's some bourbon vendors, some tequila vendors. I think there is a guy going to serve some scotch.
Right
There's seltzer vendors. There's different types of brewing. There's wheat beers, there's ciders, all sorts of different things. So, and all of those things will pair with the wine, or will pair with the food.
Right, okay, well.
I just got to say, this golden beet you have here, This thing is just fantastic. I mean, seriously, it just melts in your.
And which one would you have
I'm
us?
sorry, but I have.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And which one would you have us have with all of this lovely food?
With the root vegetables and the
That is just-
the
Yeah.
cheese, I might tend to go with the Sauv Blanc.
Oh my gosh.
That's going to be nice and clean. It's going to have some acidity. It's going to go really well with that
thank you.
light cheese that's there. With the gnocchi, I'm going to say a Chardonnay.
Oh, so this is a Chardonnay?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're switching.
Okay.
I can give you each a glass of it.
But of course, Chardonnay's delicious. You always bring us great
Sauvignon
stuff.
Blanc
It's
is wonderful.
you know, we're having a lot of fun. The wine industry is, as I said, more relaxing than what I did before. It's there's something about it. If you talk to most chefs, and I'll defer to him on this, food is a way of showing you care for people. And if you really taste something that somebody makes for you, whether it's food or whether it's wine, if that person cares enough to do that, that's what makes the difference.
Well,
Yeah, I think you're exactly
with loving
right.
care,
Definitely.
you've
It's-
made this for us, and
It's
that was so
having
nice of you to
pride in
bring.
your food. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, he's right. Just to piggyback on that, if you have pride in your food and your product and what you're putting out, it's gonna come out good. You know, you have to have some love behind it.
Yeah.
And I have passion for my food, and I'm just really trying to please, you know, whoever's eating it, and hope they have a great experience.
So, you know, I wonder who has more stress, you or you? I think it's him.
I have 4 kids.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
Yeah, but every time he has a wedding, he's got 400 kids.
That's true.
Bobby, let me
has to
ask you,
please.
you do the catering all. What's your style of food? What's some of your favorite, irregardless of what you might make for a catering client?
I eat very similar to this style of food. I did spend a year in Florence, so
Okay.
my food has a very Italian vernacular to it. I use a lot of extra virgin olive oil, fresh vegetables, a lot of bird and gamey stuff. I also eat pretty healthy. I take care of myself. I exercise and still play sports, so I'm always just trying to eat on the lighter side. But the fact that I do that allows me to, play a little bit, have a little play in what I
Yeah.
eat. So,
So this
I can
is the-
splurge every once in a while because I take
Right.
care of my food. But I tend to eat very healthy and on the cleaner side, something similar to this.
Okay. What did you hand us?
I handed you a red. Typically I would stick with the Chardonnay or go a little bit lighter for the red, but everybody always wants to see a red. That one is it's a medal winner from Sonoma
really good.
Fairgrounds, the West Coast Wine Festival.
Right. And you mentioned that cabs are kind of going away. Is this going to replace it?
Well, this is Meritage, so it's about probably 80% Cab
okay.
and 15% Merlot, about 4% Cab Franc, and about 1% Petit Verdot.
Wow.
So Meritage is a word that was coined and trademarked here in America because we can't use the term Bordeaux.
Oh, that's right.
The TTB will not allow us to use Bordeaux or Burgundy or,
Right.
or phrases that are typically European. So we have Meritage, which is our Bordeaux blend, and you have to have wines made with those 5 varietals.
Okay. All right.
That it goes back to many, many years ago, and you'd see those. Don't drink these things, but those big jug wines. Remember Burgundy?
No box wine.
And we're not going to mention any names, but it's so nice that they're doing this. I want to ask you: these 3 wines here, when you are aging them, are you using stainless steel, New American oak, or it just depends?
Kind of a combination. The Sauvignon Blanc was done in stainless steel. The Chardonnay was done in mostly neutral oak, but it does have some. It does
White
have
oak,
some
usually.
No, it's neutral French.
Okay,
But there is some live oak that's in there, not
Okay.
California live oak, but you're still getting some life out of it.
Right.
Probably a year left in the barrel. So you do impart some of that smoky oaky character to the wine. I don't like to overkill it. Some you can buy, Smoking Loon
Right.
is one that it's very, very smoke forward. They use a lot of wood in that one. I don't quite go that far. And then the Merlot the Cab and Merlot are both done in French oak.
Okay,
All very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's talk just one more time quickly about the OC Wine Fest and Spirits Fest. I know you said that.
Yeah.
So when they go to the website, can they just put in OC Wine Fest?
No.
No,
In
you
fact,
can't.
the OC Wine Fest actually goes to last year's website.
Oh, I see.
So
okay.
it's OCWineSpiritFest.com.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I put up the one from.
Yeah,
from
no,
last
it's
year.
not that
Okay.
one. It's
All
the
right.
OCWineSpiritFest.com.
Okay.
But I
OC
did
Wine
get
and
there
Spirits.
using that.
You will get to the old one that
Right.
says it's sold out.
Okay.
So that's kind of a
Don't
bummer.
go there.
Yeah, don't go
Not
there.
sold out.
Yes.
We this year we're benefiting Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation
Right.
and the CASA,
Yes.
which is the for the children.
Yep,
So,
and we're going to have them both on later in the month.
Oh, that's
as
great.
it's closer to the event, so you'll get a secondary plug. But nonetheless, I always like to highlight
Yeah.
the charities that are involved.
we're being realistic. We're probably expecting 750 to 1,000 people through a day. 2-day event, 28th and 29th. 4 food trucks, about 60 wine, spirits, and seltzer and breweries, as well as some retail vendors for different things. Typical things you would find at a festival related to wine.
No,
All right,
that's
well-
great, and I certainly pray for
Yeah.
excellent weather for you.
Yeah. Cheers to you, gentlemen.
Guys,
Cheers.
thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Yeah.
And one last thing I want to let everybody know is if you are the first person to email us at Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com, we will get you 2 free tickets to the OC and Spirits Wine Fest. So, OC Wine
There
and
you go.
Spirits Fest. Have a great day in the village, and we'll see you tomorrow.
This is great.
Cheers, you guys. Thank you
Very,
so much.
very good.